a continuation of our efforts to measure the rate of readiness in compliance with regards to COVID protocols as we prepare our institutions to reopen. And I had a lot of expectations on coming to Magoha'S. Before I say so, I wanted to diverge a bit and talk about the President's wisdom in giving us a sizable amount of money, which you all know about, and therefore I'm not going to repeat it because it is in the public domain. In that money, for economic stimulus package, His Excellency the President is very clear in his mind, and that money, especially the one for desks, 250,000 odd desks for secondary schools, and some others for primary schools. I think the earlier you start knowing this, the better. We are going to create a system where every school, every public secondary school in this country gets between 50 and 100 desks, and that in terms of the implementation framework, the President has advised us to work with my brother, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, who is in charge of Interior. And as I go to consult him, I can conceptualize. I've already told the Interior person in charge here that the only way to ensure that there is no theft of public money would mean that we involve the Ministry of Interior and also find a way of involving the youth leaders at the sub-county level. I'm hopeful that we have a youth officer in all sub-counties, because the President's vision as far as this is concerned is that the locality sector across the country should actually be able to fabricate the metal framework and other parts of these desks. If it is done properly, and of course our own people in education will work wherever there is office of the President. Office of the President takes the first place. So I would expect whoever is the sub-county commissioner to be fully in charge of the process, which involves our own education people. My own people can be secretary, and the youth person must be involved. And I want to fire a salvo very clearly. This money is not meant to be stolen by people who are supposed to be creating the desks. The money is meant for two purposes: to make desks so that as we move towards the CBC, our children have enough desks. Secondly, to engage the youth across the whole nation so that they also earn money and stimulate the economy. So the salvo I'm firing is anybody, whether he be youth or interior or education. If you have any plans for this money, you must know that it is poison, that if you touch, then you will have a very serious consequence. But otherwise, I came here this morning, ladies and gentlemen, to inspect this institution. I've inspected about 50% of them now, personally. My officers have inspected close to 80 to 90%. Among the 50%, there are excellent ones, and I could name them. And there are also others that are sitting on the fence, including this one. But why I am reasonably disappointed here is because the Magoha'S County government has been known to be the county government of choice in terms of efficiency and management. So I thought I was coming to see an excellent institution. But comparing this to Thika, or to Rift Valley, or to Bureti, among others, it is like, it's a laissez-faire attitude. It is now not acceptable for an institution of this nature, where you are training people to manufacture pavement blocks, and the pavement blocks don't exist in your own institution, and where you have put them, they are of low quality and they are breaking down. So please, can we just pull ourselves together? Things cannot be normal again. So we must act abnormally in response. It's also unthinkable at this time and age to expect our daughters to leave their hostels at 4 o'clock at night, that they are going to a long drop toilet outside the building. That is not acceptable. Tiles are now cheaper than many things I'm seeing here. The government, the national government, has provided cash mtaani in order to allow the youth to help us to work. And what I see is institutions are not keen on coming to Ngao to get the skilled youth to give them work that they are trained to do. Instead, you allow them just to cut grass. Why don't you want cash mtaani to help to cut the costs of rehabilitation? I can tell you it is because there is no money you are going to steal from there. But madam,
Yes, sir.
can you now, I'm giving you full authority because I have a delegated authority from the president. I'm also delegating to you.
Yes, sir.
Please, this institution has a lot of money in the bank. You have seen the way it looks. Can we make sure that we bring it to a level which is acceptable? And they have said I can come back here in 1 month, and I will definitely come back. But this time I will not say when I'm coming. I'll just come back. Otherwise, it is important for us to be accountable. Our government is not poor. Perhaps we are poor in our minds because we don't want to give value for money. But I refuse to believe that our government is poor. Are we together?
Yes.
Is there anything else you would want to say?
One question.
Yes.
My name is Kelvin from NTV, and my question is: a few days ago, you hinted that schools are going to be open maybe hopefully before the end of the year. So, do we expect maybe exams to be done maybe?
Let me ask you a question with a question before I answer you. Between me and His Excellency the President, who is more senior? I think you've said it is the President, even though you don't have to say it loud. Now, if His Excellency the President, in his wisdom, has said that in 3 weeks, all the stakeholders will come together, isn't it? Including those of education, and debate and move forward. I think that gives you the answer. But if I was to explain a little bit further, I'm glad that he was magnanimous enough to say 3 weeks, because then, as a doctor, I'm now able to look at the curve. What is going to happen during those 3 weeks? Then you'll ask me, why am I here? Because I want to assume that we can open earlier if it is possible. But don't go and print your own thing. Because you see, you twist and then you say, I've said now we shall open earlier. I have not said so. I have said we are observing the curve. And we are supposed to observe the curve for at least 2 weeks when it hits 5. You get the point? And I'm hoping that by the time 3 weeks comes, that will have happened, so that we can sit down and make hard decisions together, including you. But you know, the people of the fourth estate are very interesting. They'll remove the beginning and the end, and then they now will begin. They say, Magoha'S says now school will open before. That is not what I have said. I have always said that even in saying that we open in January 2021, conditions will determine, and the 2 conditions were that we observe the issue of the behavior of the disease and our compliance with the COVID protocols. I've always said so. Is there a better question? Yes.
In terms of COVID preparedness, what are some of the areas that you think the institution should improve on?
This one.
Yes.
What do you think they have improved on? You have been with me. What do you think they have improved on?
Or rather, what they need to improve
Well,
on?
that one is in the public domain. You get the point. The principal was very happy to tell me that they put a borehole 2 weeks ago, and I didn't want to hear it because I addressed them more than 6 weeks ago. And if their strategy was to get a borehole done, it should have been done earlier than that. Are we together? Because without flowing water, you have a very big problem. And you have seen that my daughters go to fetch water when they want to have a bath. Even if it's the evening bath, you have to go and fetch water from where? They are very nice bathrooms, but there is no water. Then I've looked around, madam, and I'm looking. It will also help me to look. Have you seen any water harvesting material up there? So let's not go there. I'm not happy with what I've seen. You've seen the floors. Tiles are very cheap right now. Kasim Tine is there free of charge. The price of cement, Gao here knows. If somebody tells you he has bought cement for 800, that person is a thief, period. And nothing stops you to go and negotiate and buy cement at the cheapest price. You get the point? But you do a labor contract where the national government, through the wisdom of His Excellency the President, is providing Kasim Tani. And maybe she may ask, can you give them transport? That can be done in the form of a vehicle or whichever. Or can you provide them lunch? It is very cheap. Just that there is no drive to do it, but it shall be done. And if you are not prepared to do it, then we shall get somebody else to do it. And it is not a threat, because we really must get our children back to school, isn't it? Asanteni sana, Mungu awe na nyinyi.